On this episode of Team Building Saves the World.
A lot of what I hear from people outside of the industry is, how does this really help? Or is it just an hour and a half, 2 hours of fun so we get to relax a little bit? What is the difference that you see?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think, first of all, it'll come with the brief for the event. And we always talk, and I'm sure you've heard this before from a number of my colleagues from the Catalyst Network, but we always talk about the scale of 1 to 10. And one, at this end of the scale might be team bonding, shared experience, pure fun, an opportunity just to relax.
Right.
And enjoy the company of your colleagues and maybe learn a little bit more about them in an informal environment. You know, there's that saying that you learn more about a person in an hour of play than in a lifetime of conversation. So that's sort of your one end of the scale. And then at the 10 end of the scale, you have your very sort of outcome focused team building, team development. There are specific messages or specific, not issues, but maybe performance traits that we want to address, whether it's around breaking down silo mentality or cross-functional communication. So the first part really is finding out where the client wants the event to sit, or what their objectives are, so we can match an event on that scale that's going to suit.
Okay.
And then it comes into the delivery. So how we tailor the delivery to the client, that could be based on, what type of business they are, the demographic, the gender split, the age range, their functions within the business. So again, it's around tailoring your delivery. And then the real power comes in the debrief, and how you can then relate some of those scenarios and situations that you've been able to create through experiential learning in the program or the event, and transfer them back to the workplace. So when this situation arose in the program, how did we react? What did we do? What did we do well? What could we have done better? What might we do differently next time? Right. And then how can we relate that back into the work environment? So sometimes a lot of the specific work examples can come from the clients themselves. And for us, I suppose, as the facilitators or providers, we would speak to the general, but having the reinforcement where you can have a debrief where groups can go, actually, light bulb moment. I know when we're talking to our accounts team, or when we're in engineering, or whatever it might be, this happens sometimes. And now I can see the relevance of what's happened in this event and how we might adjust ourselves back in the workplace.
So let's go back. Let's talk about the 1 to 10. Let's say, for example, I am like the head of HR for a major corporation. And when should I know, not only when it's time to actually bring my team together, bring you folks in to come and liven up my team, to give them that team building experience, but also when do I know what number I need to be looking for?
Absolutely. Well, look, most event organisers, HR, for example, there'll be a purpose to the reason for meeting. It might be an induction, it might be a conference, it might be a strategic team planning day. And depending on the theme of the reason why they're coming together, that will have a big input into the type of event and where it might sit on that scale. So, for example, a client might be coming together. It might be a graduate induction. These people don't know each other so well. So one of the big drivers is going to be getting them to really mix and mingle, to meet each other, to understand the different personality styles in the group. And so that might naturally, lead the program one way or another. Where a client has specific objectives or content that they want to intertwine into the event, again, that can direct the program or the recommendations either way on that scale. So if they're launching new products, they want to intertwine that into the event, it might actually become a little bit more outcome and object focused rather than just pure fun. Or if they're launching new organizational values, for example, then it's going to be very outcome focused. It's around giving them fun, but with learning and with value, relating it back to the work environment.
Great. Hello, team. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of that video. If you'd like to hear more from that podcast, you can follow the link down in the doobly-doo below. Of course, follow us on all of our social media at Team Bond Podcast, and be sure to leave us a comment that I can read aloud on future episodes. And as always, if you liked that video, don't forget to click like and subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, just shut up about it. Everything's going to be fine. See you next time, team.